Over a little Dvar Torah at the Bas Medrash in Tzfat yesterday, and a couple of friends weren't able to come and missed it. So I said I would try to put up a little clip version of it. So here I am, beautiful Emek HaTechelet. I want you guys to be able to see how beautiful it is here, where I'm sitting. Beautiful Eretz Yisrael. It's part of our topic. And so let's get right into it. So just 2 words on the month. So we're in a beautiful month called Kislev. Kislev is the month of Hanukkah. It's a month of it's one of the darkest months of the year in terms of short days, long nights, but one of the lightest months of the year because it has that light of Hanukkah, those little lights being shining into the world in the darkest point of the year. So we have a beautiful teaching from the Bnei Yissaschar on Kislev. Bnei Yissaschar teaches that really Kislev is about Hanukkah. And on Hanukkah, if you count up all of the lights that we light on Hanukkah, all of the candles that we light on Hanukkah, it adds up to 36 lights. And 36 is a really significant number. 36 is the number of times that the word or, v'ner, v'morot come up in the Torah, which are words connected to light, candle, and the great lights like the sun and the moon. And it's also 36 is a hint to the 36 hours that Adam, the very first person, Adam Rishon, was in Gan Eden, was in the Garden of Eden before he was kicked out of Gan Eden. So those 36 hours were hours of great light. And when Adam was kicked out of the Garden of Eden, that great light was hidden away for the tzaddikim. And that hidden light that was hidden away for the tzaddikim is actually the light that shines through our Hanukkah candles, which are 36 candles. So the beautiful teaching based on the name of the month that the Bnei Yissaschar brings, Kislev is it's really can be broken up into 2 words, Kis and Lev. Lev, the letters Lamed and Vav of Kislev, in Gematria add up to the numbers 36. Again, back to this number of 36, that we have 36 lights, which is hinting at the light hidden away for the tzaddikim. And Kis is like the word kisui, to cover. So basically the name of the month itself is saying the light, the covered light. It's hinting at this covered light. So on one hand the light is covered, and on the other hand the light is there. And we have that light to find. So we should be zoche to find it. Okay, so jumping into the Parsha. Parshat Vayetzei is a very dramatic story. I'm just going to touch on a couple of little points on it that happened there. There's so much more to it. Incredible teachings there. So let's jump into the story. The Midrash fills out the story very much for us. Yaakov is running. He's running away in this dramatic story where he just took the birthright he's the younger brother. His older brother Esav was supposed to get the birthright initially, but his mother gave him the instruction to take the birthright in last week's Parsha. He took the birthright, and Esav, when he found out about this, was enraged and wanted to kill him. And so his mother Rivka told him to run away to Haran. So he's running away from his brother who wants to kill him. And in the meantime, his brother Esav, one of the versions of the story says that he sent his son Eliphaz to kill him. He told his son, run after Yaakov and kill him. Eliphaz wasn't so sure this was such a great idea, so he asked his mother if it was a good idea. And his mother said, it's not such a good idea because Yaakov Avinu is much stronger than you, and he'll actually probably win in the struggle, and he'll probably kill you. Anyways, Eliphaz didn't feel like he could just completely ignore what his father had told him to do, so he did run after Yaakov. He caught up with him. He attacked him. He took everything. He took everything from him. He left him with nothing, including no clothes. He was naked. And in a way, so he had fulfilled what his father had told him to do, because in a sense, a pauper, someone who has nothing, is considered not alive, a dead person. And on the other hand, he also had listened to his mother and also the teachings of his grandfather Yitzhak that, obviously he wouldn't kill someone. He lived in the house of a tzaddik. So in the meantime, there's Yaakov. He has nothing. He's lost everything. He has no clothes, and he jumps in. He's right by a river. He jumps into the river and calls out to Hashem and prays to Hashem to save him. So in this point, I want to bring up a beautiful teaching from the Baal Shem Tov The Baal Shem Tov says that sometimes when a person has done something wrong and we're running away from it, or needs to be cleansed from it. So why does a person run away? Why does a person feel so lost and having lack of faith and hope and fear even? Because really when a person has done something wrong and they need to be cleansed from something, they lose their bitachon, they use their sense of faith, they get taken down a level. This is part of the challenge. And when they're taken down, so the whole question is how do they react? You know, the easiest natural reaction to losing faith is to be scared and to run away and to not be able to deal with it. But another reaction, the higher level reaction, is to esayena yalaharim, to look up to Hashem and pray, to ask for help, to ask for bitachon. And this is what the Baal Shem Tov says, that really when a person feels a lack of faith and not really knowing, you know, what they should do in such a difficult situation, that they should pray for bitachon. That when we're feeling like we're having a hard time, to ask for help, to ask for heavenly help, to ask for bitachon. And this is what Yaakov did in this moment. He jumped in the river and he prayed and he asked Hashem for help. Immediately, a horseman comes galloping by the river, and his intention was to cross the river. And as he tried to cross the river, he fell off of this horse and he died. This is the Midrash. The Yaakov took his clothes, washed them, and put them on, so he had clothes. And then to add to his challenge, he was afraid now that the family or friends of this horseman might think that he had killed him, even though he hadn't. And so he felt again he had to run away, and he ran to the Beis Medrash, to the learning house of Shem Ve'ever, which is actually really near here where I am now, in Tzfat. It says there that he learned for 14 years, non-stop. He didn't even lay down once to take a nap. 14 years straight, learning, unbelievable, amazing. And then after this 14-year period, it was time for him to find a wife. So he traveled to Haran. And as he traveled to Haran, he's traveling along and he gets there. He arrives in Haran, which is outside of Eretz Yisrael. And when he arrives there, he realized that he passed Yerushalayim, he passed Har Moriah, and he didn't pray. He didn't stop and say a word of prayer by the resting place and this very significant holy place of his father and his grandfather. Immediately he says to himself, oh my gosh, I have to go back. And he turns around to go back. And there's a couple of opinions on what happens here. One is that as he turned around to go back, he goes on his way, and Har Moriah goes to meet him, meaning that he had a shortened journey, that the journey that should have taken a long time, it's not so close, Haran to Jerusalem, it would take many days. It was very quick, it happened very fast. Another opinion, it says in the Gemara of Chulin, that Eretz Yisrael came to him, it expanded and came to him in that place. That his intention to turn around and go back, boom, right away, Eretz Yisrael came to him. And with this, I want to bring beautiful teachings from Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach, who's teaching about the tree of life and the land of life. So, the tree of life is something physical that's in a place. It has a physical location. The land of life, which is something deeper, is referring to the land of Israel. And the land of Israel is something beyond space. So Reb Shlomo says, what is a sign of life? A sign of life is to grow and expand. Do you know when Israel became the land of life? When it was given to Yaakov. So at this moment, in this point right here, the land of Israel was given to Yaakov. What does that mean? He wasn't even in Israel. He was in Haran, and he so wished and yearned for being in Jerusalem, to be in Yerushalayim and to pray in that holy place, that it expanded, which is the definition of life, and it came to him. And at this point, everything shifted, because up until that point, with Abraham, it says that God gave Abraham the land of Israel. It says with Yitzhak, God is giving you the land of Israel. With Yaakov, it's different. The land of Israel expands to anywhere that Yaakov is. And Yaakov could be anywhere in the world, and Yaakov is a symbol of all of us, of any of us connected to this tradition, that wherever you are, wherever Yaakov is, the land of Israel expands and can expand and does expand to that place. So this is a beautiful teaching. And at one point, it says in the Midrash, Asida Eretz Yisrael shetishtapet b'kol ha'aratzot, meaning that at a certain point, really, the land of Israel will expand to the whole world. So we should see it soon. Okay, let's move forward in this story. Yaakov is in this place, and he yearns for Eretz Yisrael, and then he turns. His intention is to go continue on his journey to Haran to find his wife, which is the journey that he was on. So suddenly there's a great darkness that falls all around him, even though it really wasn't time for it to be nighttime, and he couldn't move. He had to go to sleep. So, and he was in this very holy place. He realized it was a holy place. He heard heavenly voices saying, "The great Yaakov is here. The holy Yaakov is here in this holy place." And he realized he was in a really holy place. So he couldn't do anything but go to sleep. He laid down and gathered 12 stones around his head. Around him to protect him from animals, and one stone he used as a pillow. He put under his head, and he thought to himself before he fell asleep, he was in this holy place of Abraham, his father, and Yitzhak, his grandfather, and Yitzhak, his father, who said, Abraham had 2 children. One of them was a tzaddik and one was a rasha. One was righteous and one was wicked. And Yitzhak, my father, had 2 children. One was righteous and one was wicked. What about me? What's going to happen to me? Is the same thing going to happen to me? And he was concerned about this. He said to himself, really, before he fell asleep, it was a sign to me that when I awaken, because he knew that he would have 12 children from prophecy, said, if I wake up and these 12 separate stones, which represent the 12 children that he would have, were united into one stone, that would be a sign that really his children would all be tzaddikim. And that is indeed what happened. When he woke up, the 12 stones had united into one stone under his head, showing not only that his children would be tzaddikim, but that they would unite, that they would become one. So let's move forward. Yaakov in this sleeping state. The most famous story really from this Parsha is that Yaakov sleeps and there's a ladder in his dream, and the ladder is going from the earth to the heavens. So there are many, many interpretations, ways to understand this story, and things that we can learn from it. I'm going to share just one from Rabbi Nachman and Reb Nassim. So the ladder going up and down, what does Rabbi Nachman and Reb Nassim say that this is? The ladder going up and down is really Hashem, it symbolizes something to us of our experience and our relationship with the Creator. Really, Hashem wants us to serve Him in this lowly world. The world is created a very, very low level. What does that mean? Meaning a place that it's really hard to see the truth. The world is upside down. The truth is very hidden. Finding truth takes a lot of effort and searching in order to find it. Often it's described like the klipa, like there's a shell around it, like you have a shell around a fruit. To get to the fruit, you have to take the shell off. So the world is a world with many, many, many layers of shells that we have to get through all the time and make a big effort to get through them to get to the truth. So the truth is that even though we are supposed to serve Hashem in this world, sometimes it's really challenging. Sometimes it's really hard. We have a strong Yetzer Hara to do things that aren't helpful. Sometimes we need heavenly help. So the thing is that really everything's from Hashem. Everything is from God. So how are we supposed to really do anything? If it's all from Hashem, how are we supposed to do anything of our own if it's all from Hashem? And Reb Nassim says this is actually one of the great mysteries. It's one of the most important things that needs to happen, and everything really relies on this, is that we need to awaken from below. That wherever we are, even though we're in this very lowly, challenging place, are awakening from below to seek truth, to do good in this world, to bring light to the world, even though the world challenges that constantly. This is one of the most important things. This awakening from below has an effect. It does something even though it doesn't necessarily feel like it, and we don't even sometimes feel like we can do it, and we need help to do it. But really, Reb Nassim says that every single awakening, the tiniest little effort that any person makes to awaken, to bring light to the world, to seek truth, to find truth, to say truth, to do something good in this world, that the tiniest little effort, which is like even the eye of a needle, the response, the heavenly response, is huge, like the opening of a gigantic ballroom. And this is, Reb Nassim explains this imagery of the ladder. The ladder from the earth to above has angels going up and angels coming down. So the angels going up are reflecting our little efforts. Any tiny little effort that we make to do something good, to bring light to this world, is like an angel going up. And the response on high is actually huge. And that response on high sends angels back down the ladder. And those angels that come back down the ladder then give the person who's making that effort and the world more light and more strength and more energy to seek and connect on above. And therefore that dynamic just keeps going back and forth, up and down the ladder. So we have a really great job here in this world, even though sometimes it feels like we can hardly do anything. And I just want to send out a blessing to all of us. It should be a blessed day, and this challenge that we have to awaken from below. We should take it on, and we should do it. Me putting out a live video of this little teaching is my little effort from below right now, which is lo muvan me'alav. It's not a given that I would feel comfortable putting on a live video, but here I am doing it, and I'm going to try to do it and do more things, such as this, to share, because these teachings are really giving us strength, giving us clarity, giving us more understanding towards the truth, which is what we're here for in the first place. And we should bless with the rains of blessing in the world. And one little word, this teaching should be for the refuah shalema of Oi Rachamim ben Chaya Masha, my good friend. Her son should have refuah shalema, and everyone who needs a refuah shalema should have it. It should come down right now for all of us. And also, Hashem, please bless us with rain. We should have rain of blessing in this world, and have a beautiful day.